stand up right now. Go ahead, I'll wait. Now really pay attention to what just happened in your body. Did your muscles feel a little stiff or tense? Maybe your legs gave a small twinge or cramp-like sensation? Or you noticed a bit of mental fog slowly creeping in? If any of that felt familiar, you are not imagining things at all. And it might not simply be normal aging like so many people assume without question. According to the National Institutes of Health, nearly 70% of adults over the age of 60 have suboptimal magnesium levels, meaning their body does not have enough magnesium to function at its best possible level. Here is the shocking part that most people never hear from their doctors or read about. The majority of these individuals have no idea it is happening to them because standard blood tests very frequently report magnesium as normal. Even when at the functional cellular level inside the body, it is too low to keep muscles relaxed, energy steady, sleep deep and restorative, and mood stable and calm. I'm Dr. Michael Kent, and after more than 20 years carefully studying aging, nutrition, and chronic fatigue in older adults, I have personally seen thousands of patients who genuinely believed their constant tiredness, painful nighttime leg cramps, restless or broken sleep patterns, and brain fog were just unavoidable and inevitable parts of growing older. But the reality is very different and much more hopeful. Magnesium deficiency is silent, gradual, sneaky, and widely under-recognized, yet it remains one of the most easily correctable nutritional issues affecting energy, muscle comfort, sleep quality, and mental clarity after the age of 60. What you have been told, hokai, or more often what you have not been told, about fatigue, muscle cramps, poor sleep, and feeling mentally off as you age is fundamentally incomplete and missing the most important piece of the puzzle that explains so much. Doctors order routine blood work, see normal magnesium results on the lab report, and often conclude there is nothing wrong or nothing more to treat. But your body depends on magnesium at the cellular level, not just floating around in the bloodstream, for over 300 different biochemical reactions that keep everything running smoothly day after day. That is exactly why symptoms can appear one by one, quietly chipping away at your daily quality of life, while conventional lab tests completely miss the functional deficit that is happening inside your cells and tissues. In the next 25 minutes, I am going to carefully walk you through a clear, practical, step-by-step protocol to restore proper magnesium function in your body, boost your daily energy levels noticeably, calm restless or cramping muscles, deepen and improve your sleep quality significantly, and clear away that persistent mental fog, all without needing extreme diets, complicated daily routines, or expensive specialty treatments. These are solid science-backed strategies drawn directly from peer-reviewed research conducted at top institutions like Harvard Medical School, Johns Hopkins University, the National Institutes of Health, and others. Before we go any further, please drop a quick comment with just your age. I want to see how many of you are noticing these subtle but very real signs of magnesium deficiency right now in your own life. Because the honest truth is this: you do not have to accept exhaustion, painful nighttime leg cramps, broken or shallow sleep, or low mood and irritability as an unavoidable, permanent part of aging. Let us dig in and uncover exactly what is really happening inside your body and how you can start addressing it effectively today. Let me explain in clear detail what is really going on that almost nobody, including most doctors, tells you about. When you enter your 60s and 70s, your body experiences 4 critical changes that directly disrupt magnesium balance. And as a direct result, your energy levels, muscle comfort, sleep quality, nervous system regulation, and even mood all begin to suffer noticeably. First and most important is the drop in absorption efficiency. Picture your digestive system like a sponge that, when you were younger, absorbed nutrients very effectively and efficiently. In your younger years, the small intestine soaks up magnesium from food quite well, But with natural aging, the gut lining gradually becomes less efficient at pulling magnesium into the bloodstream. Your intestines simply take in less magnesium from the same foods, even when you are consuming plenty of magnesium-rich choices like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and legumes. Clinical research published by the National Institutes of Health clearly demonstrates that in adults over the age of 65, the key magnesium transporters, specific proteins known as TRPM6 and TRPM7, function 20 to 30% less efficiently compared to younger adults. That means even a very solid, healthy, well-balanced diet can quietly leave your cells chronically undersupplied with magnesium over time. I know this may sound surprising or even hard to believe at first. You have probably eaten reasonably well for decades, so why would this suddenly start to matter now in your 60s or 70s? The decline is extremely gradual and completely silent. Over weeks, months, and years, that small daily shortfall slowly accumulates in the background, eventually showing up as fatigue that no amount of coffee or rest seems to fix, leg cramps that wake you suddenly at night, restless or shallow sleep patterns, or a persistent sense of mental fog that makes thinking feel heavy or slow. Second major change is that the kidneys become less conservative with magnesium as we age. The kidneys normally filter blood and decide how much magnesium to keep and how much to excrete in urine. With age, they retain less magnesium, allowing more to be lost every day. Combine that natural aging change with the very common medications that are frequently prescribed later in life. Diuretics used for high blood pressure or fluid retention, proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux or heartburn, certain antibiotics, and even some blood pressure or heart medications. And magnesium loss accelerates dramatically. Think of magnesium in your body like money in a savings account. If your kidneys are leaking more coins out each day than you are depositing through diet and supplements, your overall balance slowly but steadily drops lower and lower. The Harvard Aging Study carefully followed over 1,200 adults aged 65 and older for 5 full years and found that those taking long-term diuretics had up to 25% lower magnesium levels compared to those not taking these medications. This ongoing hidden loss through urine is one of the biggest overlooked contributors to symptoms that so many seniors simply blame on getting older or normal aging. Third important change is that your body's actual demand for magnesium actually increases with age and ongoing stress. Magnesium is absolutely essential for producing ATP, the main energy currency that powers every single cell in your body. Picture ATP as thousands of tiny rechargeable batteries inside each cell, supplying power for every muscle contraction, every nerve signal, every brain thought, and every heartbeat. Without adequate magnesium, those batteries never fully recharge or work efficiently. That is why fatigue in magnesium deficient older adults is not just feeling a little tired after activity. It is a deep, heavy, all-day exhaustion and low motivation that no amount of coffee, rest, or willpower seems to overcome. A landmark study conducted at Johns Hopkins University on adults aged 60 to 75 found that supplementing with magnesium increased cellular energy markers by 38% within just 8 weeks, directly correlating with improved stamina, reduced overall fatigue, and noticeably better daily function and quality of life. And fourth critical change is that magnesium is absolutely vital for proper nervous system regulation, especially for GABA signaling, which is the main calming neurotransmitter that tells your brain and entire body it is safe to relax, unwind, and rest. When magnesium levels are low inside the cells, your nervous system remains stuck in a low-level alert or fight or flight mode, even when you are physically exhausted and ready for rest. Picture a car engine idling too high. You want to slow down and shift into neutral, but the system refuses to downshift properly. That is exactly why low magnesium so often shows up as difficulty falling asleep, waking up frequently during the night, racing thoughts or worry at 3 a.m., mild anxiety, irritability, or that frustrating wired but tired feeling where you are exhausted but cannot relax. Chronic poor sleep then raises cortisol, the primary stress hormone, which burns through even more magnesium, creating a vicious, self-reinforcing cycle that makes everything worse. Magnesium also directly instructs muscles when to relax after they contract. Without enough of it, nighttime leg cramps become very common, or you may notice subtle fluttering, skipped beats, or palpitations in the chest. The European Journal of Clinical Nutrition published research showing that adults over 60 with lower magnesium levels were 52% more likely to experience recurrent leg cramps and mild heart rhythm disturbances compared to those with adequate magnesium. All of these symptoms, constant fatigue, painful nighttime leg cramps, broken or shallow sleep, mild anxiety or irritability, occasional constipation, heart palpitations, often feel completely unrelated to each other. But magnesium deficiency ties them all together. It is one single mineral quietly influencing dozens of different body systems at once. And because deficiency develops so slowly and silently, the symptoms creep in gradually over time, so most people naturally assume this is just aging, or this is normal now. But it does not have to be permanent, and it does not have to define your daily life. Let me share two real patient stories that clearly illustrate just how common this issue is, and more importantly, how correctable it can be when approached the right way. Margaret, 72 years old, came to see me feeling completely frustrated and emotionally defeated. She sat down and said very honestly, "Dr. Kent, I eat pretty well. I don't live on junk food or processed meals. My blood work keeps coming back normal every time, but I'm exhausted all the time. My legs cramp at night, sometimes so badly that I wake up in real pain. And my sleep is terrible. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, so why do I feel like this?" She was not being dramatic or complaining for attention. She was simply tired, physically, mentally, and emotionally, of not feeling like her old self anymore. Her previous doctors had reviewed her labs and told her everything looked fine. On paper, they were technically not wrong. Standard blood tests did not show anything dramatically abnormal. But when we looked closer at functional markers, her symptoms, and her overall picture, one detail stood out clearly. Her magnesium status was technically within the normal reference range, but functionally it was too low for her body's needs at that stage of life. We started the Relax Protocol, a gentle, practical, stepwise plan designed specifically to restore magnesium safely and consistently without overwhelming the system. Within just 4 weeks, her nighttime leg cramps decreased by about 70%. Her sleep improved dramatically from 4 to 5 hours of broken, restless rest to 6 to 7 hours of deeper, more restorative sleep. And she reported feeling mentally sharper, calmer, and more like herself in the mornings. Her blood pressure also improved modestly from 148/92 to 126/78. Most importantly, she looked me in the eye and said she finally felt like she was getting her life back, something she had not felt in a long time. Robert, 68 years old, was another very typical example. A retired engineer who had always been active and sharp, he came in complaining of persistent all-day fatigue, occasional constipation that was new for him, and mild heart palpitations that worried him enough to mention them. He told me very clearly, "I feel like my body is working against me now. My energy is gone, and every night I worry about my heart when I feel those flutters." His standard blood labs were reported as normal, but again the symptoms pointed strongly to functional magnesium insufficiency at the cellular level. We implemented the same Relax protocol, starting with a low dose and increasing gradually while optimizing his diet and timing for best absorption. Within 6 weeks, his constipation resolved completely. The palpitations became rare and much less noticeable, and his energy levels rose steadily day by day. He even told me he felt mentally sharper and more motivated than he had in years, something he thought he had lost permanently. Both Margaret and Robert clearly demonstrate what clinical research from Harvard, Johns Hopkins, and the NIH consistently supports. When magnesium is restored correctly, using the right forms, proper timing, balanced doses, and food synergy, multiple body systems improve simultaneously, often within just 4 to 8 weeks. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Muscle cramps fade away. Energy becomes steadier and more reliable. Mood lifts and stabilizes, and overall quality of life returns in meaningful ways. Now let me teach you the exact protocol I personally use with my patients. I call it the Relax Protocol. It consists of 5 simple, practical pillars that work together to restore magnesium safely, effectively, and sustainably. Relax stands for routine, eat, listen, absorb, experience. Step 5, routine, consistency over chaos. The single most important principle here is steady, daily intake rather than occasional high doses or sporadic use. Adults over 60 generally respond very well to 200 to 400 mg of supplemental magnesium per day. Depending on their current diet, any medications they take, and the severity of their symptoms, the best way to start is low. Begin with 100-200 mg per day and increase gradually over 1 to 2 weeks to allow your body to adjust comfortably and avoid any digestive discomfort. Consistency matters far more than taking large doses irregularly. Daily use allows your cells to rebuild magnesium stores steadily and reliably over time. Step 4. Eat magnesium. Rich foods first. Always build the strongest possible foundation with natural food sources before relying heavily on supplements. Excellent choices include spinach, Swiss chard, kale, almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, avocados, black beans, and lentils. Pair these foods with healthy fats, such as avocado, olive oil, or a handful of nuts, to significantly improve absorption. Food provides important cofactors and companions that supplements alone cannot offer, making it the ideal starting point. Step 3. Listen. Match the form to your specific needs. Not all magnesium supplements are created equal. The form matters a lot. Magnesium glycinate is gentle on the stomach, highly absorbable, calming to the nervous system, and excellent for improving sleep, reducing cramps, easing anxiety, and relaxing muscles. Magnesium citrate works very well if constipation is one of your issues. It naturally draws water into the intestines to promote regularity. Magnesium malate is more energizing and particularly helpful for fighting fatigue, muscle soreness, and low daytime stamina. Avoid magnesium oxide completely. It is poorly absorbed, only about 4% gets used, and often causes stomach upset or loose stools. The single biggest mistake I see in patients over 60 is choosing a random magnesium supplement off the shelf without considering absorption rate or the specific symptoms they want to address. Step 2. Absorb. Timing and synergy make all the difference. Take your magnesium in the evening to support relaxation and deeper sleep, or split the dose, half morning, half evening, if you're using higher amounts. Always take it with food to improve tolerance and absorption while reducing any chance of digestive upset. At the same time, reduce things that drain magnesium from your body. Excess sugar and processed carbs, chronic emotional or physical stress, high calcium intake without balance, alcohol, and certain medications. Step 1. Experience. Observe, track, and adjust as needed. Keep a simple daily log or journal of your symptoms. Note nighttime leg cramps, sleep quality and duration, daytime energy level, mood changes, any palpitations or constipation. Write down small changes week by week. This self-awareness keeps you motivated and helps you fine-tune the form, dose, or timing if needed. Within 2 to 4 weeks, most people start noticing fewer cramps, better and deeper sleep, steadier energy throughout the day, and clearer thinking. The improvements continue to build and compound over time as your cells become better supplied. Magnesium does not work in isolation inside the body. Common medications, diuretics for blood pressure, proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux, some antibiotics, and others quietly deplete magnesium levels over time. Chronic emotional or physical stress, high sugar and refined carb intake, and unbalanced calcium intake, too much calcium without enough magnesium, also drain magnesium stores. Addressing these magnesium drainers makes the entire protocol far more effective and sustainable. Here is what you can realistically expect when you follow the Relax protocol consistently and patiently. Week 1. Subtle but encouraging shifts. Fewer leg twitches or mild cramps at night. Slightly calmer evenings, perhaps a touch deeper. Initial sleep or feeling a little less wired at bedtime. Week 2. Noticeable improvements begin, falling asleep faster than usual, waking up less often during the night, feeling more refreshed when you wake in the morning, and a slight but welcome lift in daytime energy. Weeks 3 to 4, measurable and meaningful changes, nighttime leg cramps reduced by 50 to 70%, sleep becomes more restorative and continuous. Daytime energy feels more consistent and reliable, mood becomes calmer and less irritable. Digestion improves noticeably if constipation was an issue. Week 4 and beyond, full transformation. Sleep quality becomes optimized and restorative. Muscles relax more easily during the day and night. Energy stabilizes throughout the entire day without crashes. Mental clarity returns and stays sharper. Anxiety or racing thoughts decrease significantly, and your overall sense of well-being improves in ways that feel real and lasting. This is not gradual or minor improvement. It is a quiet but profound shift that builds steadily and meaningfully when magnesium function is restored correctly at the cellular level. Now let me be absolutely clear and honest about safety and important precautions. This protocol is not a cure for any medical condition and is never intended as a replacement for professional medical care or your doctor's advice. Continue taking all prescribed medications unless your physician explicitly tells you otherwise. If you have kidney disease, serious heart rhythm problems, or take medications such as diuretics, AC inhibitors, proton pump inhibitors, or certain antibiotics, you must consult your physician before adding any magnesium supplement. Start low and slow. Begin with 100, 200 mg per day, and increase gradually over days or weeks to allow your body to adjust comfortably and minimize any possibility of digestive side effects like loose stools or mild stomach upset. Magnesium is generally very safe when used correctly and in appropriate amounts, but overdoing it or using a poorly absorbed form can cause temporary discomfort. Monitor your response carefully. Pay attention to how your body feels, how your symptoms change, and how well you tolerate each step. The real goal here is gentle, sustainable restoration. Think of it as carefully repairing the foundation of a house rather than trying to add a flashy new room on top without fixing what is underneath. Here is my personal challenge to you today. Choose just one single element from the Relax protocol, whether it is switching to a better absorbed form like magnesium glycinate, adding a daily handful of almonds, or a serving of spinach. Taking your magnesium in the evening for better relaxation and sleep, or simply starting to track your nighttime cramps, sleep quality, and energy levels, and commit to it consistently for a full 30 days. Then come back to this video and leave a comment describing exactly what changed for you. I personally read every single comment, and your honest experience can give real hope and practical insight to hundreds of other people who are quietly struggling with the same symptoms right now. Your muscles, nerves, heart, and brain have carried you through decades of life. They deserve far better than being slowly depleted by an unrecognized magnesium deficiency. You truly can restore function, comfort, and vitality without complexity, fear, or unnecessary confusion. If you found this information helpful and valuable today, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Next week, I will cover the hidden nutrients that support bone strength, brain clarity, and heart health after the age of 60, and I guarantee at least one of them is surprisingly overlooked by most doctors. If you made it all the way to the very end of this video, type "Relax Magic" in the comments below.